So 157 pounds. Levi Haines, #1. He lost in the finals to Austin O'Connor of North Carolina last year. Their last champ at this weight, Jason Nolt, 3 straight years, 2017 to 2019. And earlier tonight, we saw Richie Figueroa get a win at 125. Jacori Teemer can make it 2 champions for Arizona State. Last time they did that was 2011.
Wearing the red, from Arizona State, Jacori Teemer. And his opponent is wearing the green, representing Penn State, Levi Haines.
Wrestlers get to choose their walkout music. It can't go overlooked that the 2 guys from New York, Vito Arujau and here Jacori Teemer, both picked different Biggie songs. So we mentioned when Richard Figueroa won at 125 that the last time that they had a champ at 125, Anthony Robles, 2011, beat a wrestler from Iowa. Figueroa beat Drake Ayala of Iowa. Bubba Jenkins in 2011 wrestled David Taylor of Penn State, came away the champion that year, and here at Jacori Teemer against Levi Haines, also of Penn State. See if the Sun Devils can make it 2 for 2 as we see the 3rd of 6 Nittany Lions on the mat tonight.
After Bubba Jenkins had left Penn State, so that one must have been sweet to Bubba to beat David Taylor, who ultimately became Olympic champ, world champion. Just missed the all everything.
One of the things you'll notice about Jacori Teemer is that his stance is a little unorthodox. So stand up a little more. And you may say, hey, he needs to have a better stance. It works for him. You need to find a stance and a style that works for you. It doesn't have to be traditional. It just needs to be effective.
Jacori Teemer gives, like you know, we were talking in the back, a little bit explosive, goes from 0 to 100, Sean Bunch type of style, the old guy from Edinburgh, one of my buddies. Bunch speed, they used to call it.
Bunch speed.
Bunch
yeah.
speed.
Teemer
has that, yep.
He's got a very unorthodox style. He's not afraid to let guys in on his legs and let it fly, throw caution to the wind. What I love about Teemer is I remember that Conti semi a few years ago between Teemer and Peyton Robb in Nebraska, and how those guys were both exhausted, laying on their backs after the match. That's what he's capable of. Let's see if he can throw caution to the wind again tonight.
But look at Levi Haines, right? 2 years in college, 2 NCAA finals, didn't get a red shirt, and just continuously improving.
Well, that's why they put that word true before the word sophomore. He's done a phenomenal job. Inserted into the lineup last year, find himself in the national final against Austin O'Connor. He's back and he's operating with a lot more confidence today.
Of all the stars,
really good.
of all the stars that you see in Penn State, no one talks about this star enough. They don't say enough about it. They talk about Starachi, Brooks, Kirkley, but this Levi Haines, he is that good.
Well, he's on pace to be a 4-time finalist, Rob. And he does a really good job. He's poised. Look at how he did against a guy who throws craziness at you last night in Bryce Andonian. Found himself in overtime, stayed disciplined, finished with the fall, and now he's back with someone else who can throw craziness, but look at him, control the center, controlling the wrist.
He has not loved that NCAA logo. That whole time, he's got his back to the NCAA logo. When Jacori tries to circle back center, he just cuts him off, hedges him, doesn't follow him. If you follow him, you find yourself going in a circle. He just kind of meets him, heads him off, going to where Jacori's going, opposed to following him behind him.
Well, it looks like Jacori's trying to bait him into an attack, right? He's standing on the outside of the circle. He's like, listen, I dare you to shoot. Get extended and put yourself in a position where I could possibly counter you.
Well, this slow pace, Jacori Teemer lives here. It doesn't matter. And that's one of the knocks on Jacori Teemer has been that he will wrestle the #1 guy in the country to a point, He'll also wrestle the number 20 guy to a point. But he's so comfortable in that match that when he has to operate in it, he can get it done.
Well, here's the problem. Levi Haines hasn't made him look bad because he hasn't taken any risks himself. So you can tell that he's being disciplined because he's cautious and hesitant to get countered.
Team trophies are locked up. The top 3 get one. Penn State locked it up last night. Cornell and Michigan, your top 3. And the scoring record of 170 points, the highest mark ever, still very much within reach for the Nittany Lions with 3 to go after this. Every win is worth 4 points, including if there are any bonus points on top of that.
And Greg Kirkley had a major, so they got one done with a major.
Bo Bartlett fell.
Bo Bartlett fell. One more. They've got one match for error. Everything else has to go their way.
You see that Levi Haines is being coached well to be very careful, because if you shoot in on Jacori Teemer's legs, he'll sit the corner and slide a cradle in on you. Both guys are just a little too patient here. We need some action.
Yeah, we need some action. I mean, I know what's happening. I know how hard it is.
Hey, Rock, you remember back in the day we had the good old double stalling, right? Neither of these guys are doing enough. Give them both
They got
the
Jacori. They just got Jacori for stalling.
But here's the thing. It doesn't matter whether wrestling is occurring. Levi hasn't taken enough risk or attempts to warrant giving him a stall call.
You got to call somebody.
Yeah, that's right.
You gotta make somebody start to wrestle.
In freestyle, we call that passivity, right? We're going to go to a position where we put someone on the clock where you have to make an attempt and try to really score.
Let's call it like it is. This match is very exciting.
Well, it's just hard to come to this after some of the matches we've seen. The last match, there was 20 points scored between Gomez and Caleb Henson. Yeah.
Who's now the first Division I champion ever from the state of Georgia.
But you saw those 2 little super ductive hips there. That's essentially what Levi Haines did too, right? He got a stall call. But I think it's ultimately coming down to mat control. Optics.
The Sun Devils are the masters of the chess game. You saw Richie Figueroa at 125 pounds play the edge, understand when to take his shots, pick his points, and now Teemer's doing the same thing here at 157.
But look at the optics, right? He's controlling the center. But now you can see Teemer doesn't want to go down. Yeah, Levi Haines is good on top. He does not want to go down. And ultimately, it still comes down to one takedown.
Well, he's forced himself to get some action now. So he knows that he has to have a sense of urgency. Let's see if he waits till late to go and shoot, or if he tries to go get one right away.
Because, JB, here's the deal, right? You get away, it's 1-to-1. It's still going to take a takedown. But if you choose neutral, you just have more time to try to go chase that takedown. If you're Jacori Teemer.
If I'm in the corner, these guys are driving me crazy. Take a risk.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice job by Haines. My goodness, what an attack by Haines.
Very good. He's a high percentage finisher once he gets to the leg. Notice he gets to the high C. He builds up. He switches off to the double, but he locks his chest and head up. Good, strong, solid hips and positioning. Now he's got that leg in. And Teemer's going to be here for a while.
And to build on top of that, JB, when he locked his double, he locked it right underneath the butt so he couldn't have any scrambling. Seen that a lot. You lock it high in the butt, and then you bring him straight down so the person can't roll through. Really good job by Levi Haines.
But here's a major error in judgment, I believe, on Teemer's behalf, because he's going to leave this mat. He's not even tired. He's not exhausted. He's not really sweating. And he finds himself in a position where he's down 4-0 because he's waited so long to create action that Levi Haines was like, I'm going to go get this guy. I'm not playing the game anymore. I want to finish this match and win.
Well, that's what Austin O'Connor did to him last season. He went, took him down, and he rode him.
Yep.
You're young. I'm supposed to win this match. I'm going to go win this match. Jacori waited a little too long. I get playing the game, but at some point you got to give yourself an opportunity.
Well, sometimes you out-strategize yourself. Too much strategy, too much gamesmanship. Sometimes you just got to wrestle.
Yep, sometimes you got to just wrestle. I mean, and look at the effort Haines is putting on the ride, man. Now you know why Jacori Teemer didn't want to go down.
Hey, I don't want to be underneath of that either.
No, look at this dude. This dude is riding. He's so physical on top, too.
On Levi Haines' path to the finals, it was 2 tech falls, a major decision, the pin over Andonian, also took out Peyton Robb. Those guys multiple-time All-Americans. And this won't be a major decision, but it's the one that matters most. His 5th and final match here in Kansas City. And he's finishing it off with a flourish.
Well, and you know what, honestly, I don't mind that by Teemer. He said, I'm going to go try a high flyer. I'm going to give myself a chance. I'm going to do something.
A day late and
a dollar short. I
DC.
get it, but at least give yourself a chance. You're losing. You're going to lose anyway.
But still a great finish. Second place in the country.
He pick him up. Oh, man, leave me on the ground, man.
I like this kid, Levi Haines. I think he's got staying power. He's going to be around for a while. He's a guy that was trained by David Taylor at M2 Training Center in State College. This guy does phenomenal work, and man, he's a champion now.
Great job by Levi Haines. Hats off to all those guys, man. They're built, I mean, you know, to be as good as Penn State is, and they're still building, because Haines is such a young athlete in this program.
There is something in the water there in Centre County. Levi Haines, a finalist last year, now a champion. He's with Quinn.
Levi, congratulations as we walk over to your family. You were really patient at the beginning of that match, and then you saw the opening and you took it. What were you gauging?
No, I was just kind of feeling in those positions and just taking my time. Knew the scores would open up.
And once you got the takedown, it was end of story.
Just a tough ride on top and finishing it out.
What's it like being part of this Penn State team? You guys are on the cusp of history. What makes it different or special?
Just the brotherhood of it. Just before this, we had a Bible study, and I mean, it was the best. Having those guys to fall back on their experiences is just amazing.
Let's walk over here, and I don't want to keep you from your family, Levi. Way to go. Congratulations.
Going to see his parents, Amy and Ken. Mom's happy to give a hug, not only for a championship, but because he didn't even have a drop of sweat on his body.
He's not even sweating. Like, if you're Jacori Teemer, you got to make this guy work harder.
Well, you guys mentioned that yesterday, right? You mentioned that yesterday. He stays poised under pressure. He knew that it was going to be a really close match, but he wanted to make sure that he stayed poised and disciplined. Even when it got dicey, he didn't let it get out of control.
The Nittany Lions, 3 finalists in, and they've got 2 title winners. And still plenty more to come in their pursuit of the highest team score ever.